There's not yet a stadium proposal with a complete and sufficient financial plan, one which assigns equitable obligations to the Vikings, the local partner, and the state of Minnesota. And no site sponsor has adequately resolved the major unanswered questions in order to merit the approval to proceed. Unless the legislature is willing to change its insistence on a voter referendum before Ramsey County can impose any kind of tax increase, the only two feasible sites become the Metrodome and Linden Avenue, both in Minneapolis. Rumor that some legislators would prefer to postpone final action until 2013 because they want to avoid taking a tough vote on a controversial project before next November's election. The inability of stadium proponents to complete their own preparations gives cover to that delay. Quote, "We can't vote because we don't have a specific proposal," close quote, has been the consistent and legitimate refrain of those wishing to avoid a vote. The longer it takes to finalize the proposal with a single site, with an agreed-upon, reliable, and equitable financing plan, and with satisfactory answers to important remaining questions, the less likely it is that a stadium will be approved by the legislature in the upcoming session, and thus this year. There are three questions that need to be answered regarding the Arden Hills site. The first is, whether if the legislature, what has been told to me privately is what the legislative position is, and they will state publicly that they will not agree to a local tax increase without a voter referendum, which would mean in November of this year, then that's one piece of reality. The second is, from Ramsey County, do they have any other local option available to them of any kind that could be approved? And third, in the absence of those two possibilities, as I said earlier, the Vikings team share would need to be about $700 million. And are they willing, because they want to be in Arden Hills so much more than anywhere else, to put in that amount of money? If the answer to those three questions is no, then in my judgment, the Arden Hills site is not financially viable. Because of its proximity to downtown Minneapolis, and meaning then the hotels and the restaurants, the bars, the commercial activity in the city, as well as to the immediate proximity to Target Center and Target Field, you'd have sort of a large entertainment complex there, and for national conventions and all the other activities that go on even now at the Metrodome, but I think even more so because you have that configuration. And so I think there'd be much greater likelihood of additional economic development occurring, commercial shops, bars, restaurants, and the like, that'll generate more jobs and more economic return to the city and the state than the Metrodome has done so far. I favor expansion of electronic pull tabs as a source because the tribes have indicated they will not challenge that in court, and therefore those revenues could be immediately forthcoming.